Arsenal scare them. Arsenal have rendered them dumb. Arsenal have rendered people crazy. The team you can always beat up, Banter FC, always in the mud, always going to bottle it, never going to win a league title again. There is a genuine fear, and there has been for a number of years, that Arsenal have turned the corner and may get over the line. And you haven't. An example of this has never been more clear than the set piece conversation over the course of the past 4 to 5 weeks. And the reason this series, Killing the Game, exists is because there's fun to be had amongst fans. I absolutely agree. But when the mainstream media takes fan discourse, fan banter, and just people having a little dig and a little bit of fun, they start making serious conversation points out of it. You risk damaging the game. We've seen it. And people like myself defended Erling Haaland. The idea that being a tap-in merchant was an easy thing. He was a League One level football player. Tap-ins were easy, and he wasn't a supreme talent. Bullshit. Trent Alexander-Arnold saying that his crosses were just spamming the ball into the box. KDB just spamming the ball into the box. Bruno Fernandes, Hollywood balls into the box, diminishing the art of crossing the ball. We saw this with penalties. It started with Cristiano Ronaldo, turned on to Bruno Fernandes. The idea that penalties were no longer real goals and shouldn't be taken seriously and should be minused away from somebody's tally. And the list goes on with this. But so many elements of our game have been ripped into. So many elements of our game have been diminished and almost tried turning them into an embarrassing element, all in the name of essentially shitting on the performances of a rival or a player. And I think there's a place for that in fan discourse. I think there's a place for that as a bit of a laugh and a bit of a joke and a bit of content. But the mainstream media running with it has been and always will be an abomination to this game. And when it comes to the set piece element, I want to say this before, we've got so much stuff to go through. It's crazy. The evidence that's come out is mad. This whole time, and I did a video on it last week where I said, it's not felt right at all. I've always felt as though we've been told our whole lives the opposite about set pieces, about their importance and the need for them, both offensively and defensively. My whole life until the last 5 weeks. And what we're about to show you is going to expose this to the nth degree. So well done to all the Arsenal accounts and football accounts in general that have been DMing me. It's a lot of Liverpool fans, even United fans, sending me this stuff. And I had to react to it because it's crazy. But let's take a first look at what Jamie Carragher said just 1 week ago.
A lot of people in football think we've almost had enough of this, everyone trying to play pretty football. I was frustrated with every team almost trying to play the same type of football. And I think we've gone back, which is fine.
Remember, when someone says, which is fine, that's always code for I'm pissed off about it in this moment. But let's continue.
But I almost feel like we've gone too far back.
Too far back. We've gone too far back, is what he says.
In terms of, set plays, long throw-ins, the kickoffs into the corner flag.
So again, I can't show that as footage, right? But set plays, very specific, long throws, etc. Now, this is Jamie Carragher only a few seasons ago, a couple of seasons ago. Let's take a listen.
Not this about talking, can Chelsea win the league? Have they got one of the best squads to win the league? Well, I just wanted to look back at actually how important set pieces were in teams who won the league. And I mentioned Zuma again. Lampard knows how much a goal-scoring centre-back is important. He had John Terry, the best goal-scoring centre-back, I think, in Premier League history. But if we look at the last 10 years of teams who've won the title...
Isn't this funny that this goes right up into 2021? 2022, when Arsenal started to really challenge again and look good, the narrative and the lack of quality in punditry to point score has gone crazy. What Jamie Carragher has just said there, how important goal-scoring centre-backs are, how important scoring goals has been to winning titles. We, just last week, and I don't know if I have the graphic ready and available, but last week, I went and did this research myself because something didn't feel right in the analysis. Something felt off. Something felt amiss. And what I found, this was just through doing my own research. Here, the graphic is here, actually. I'm going to put it up on the screen now. That actually, over the last 20 years, teams winning the title have scored more, have increasingly scored more goals in winning games year on year. The linear growth is there. And this is the percentage, okay, of goals, of set piece goal wins by Premier League champions from 04 until 2024. And as you can see, that red line in the middle, linear growth, they've always been there. So many games won while scoring set pieces. I knew there was a lie, and now the clip of Jamie Carragher confirming this has come out.
And how important scoring goals and conceding goals from set pieces is. And if you see everyone down that side, the goal difference, everyone's plus. So everyone does better in terms of scoring than conceding.
So again, scoring and conceding, both part of this argument, being good defensively and being good offensively from corners.
A big one that really stands out for me, even though Frank wasn't there, is how important set pieces were to the Conte Chelsea.
You can see there 22 goals scored by them.
That three at the back, powerful players coming up, plus 15. That's the biggest difference.
Man United, by the way, 2012, 2013, 23 goals from set pieces. And before anybody comes out and said this in the comment, Terry, what we're arguing is they're low on open play goals. Well, firstly, I've addressed this 4 or 5 times. Unless you want to break down and tell me why you don't think they're going to start scoring more open play goals, I'm not interested in that banal point. Unless you've want to break down and unless you want to put your name in your face to an opinion that is that their attack isn't going to score enough goals from open play, I don't care. Give us a full opinion, not a half-baked one.
We've seen in the last 10 years. So it's vital, set pieces.
Hear that there? Vital. How vital being good at set pieces at both ends is. But yet suddenly we fast forward only 4 years from this, and it's embarrassing. It's horrible. We've gone too far back. What do you mean too far back? This is only 3 or 4 years ago. Absolutely crazy on every single level.
Football, you know, head it out. Danso comes up, gets the towel out, starts throwing. It's so one-dimensional. And Carragher's right. Like, I get it. Some of the lesser teams like Brentford, you got a long throw in it. You can cause problems. You can maybe create a chance. But the top teams doing long throw-ins. Like, I can't believe what I'm watching. It's all down to Arsenal. Arsenal started this. Arsenal started the long throw, the set pieces.
It's funny how, though, that he's saying Arsenal started it, but as we could see, Conte's team only a few years ago was good at it. We were asking for pundits were talking about how important it was a few years ago to be good at these things, but Arsenal started it.
You know, they've killed the Premier League in terms of, you know, fluid football and enjoyable football.
Like Spurs, defensively, mate, honestly, we're like a pub team. Like, from set pieces, we are all over the gap. And Vicario, like, I'm a big fan of him. I am. But he's got to be braver when it comes from corners. Like, you've got to go, you know what? Teams are trying to mug me off now. They're just putting players on top of me. They're fizzing the ball into the 6-yard box. And I'm killing my side. So I'm going to go the other way and just go completely gung-ho from corners and come for every cross and come for everything and take out everyone. Just to tell people to fuck off. Because what's happening is we're just getting undone from set pieces.
You see there from Jamie O'Hara, as we mentioned earlier, being good at them at both ends is very important. Moaning about football becoming horrible and boring and the game being lost, but also complaining that his team can't defend set pieces. Not complaining that teams are scoring from them. He's criticizing his team for not being good at defending them, which is what we always used to do. We never, ever attacked a team. Up until this year, we never attacked a team for being good at set pieces. We attacked the team bad at defending them. The exposure is everywhere. And he's also tweeted in the past about this, saying, everyone realized yet what I said about set pieces being so important in the current situation. 3 games, 3 set-piece goals, 1 which was a goal but weren't a goal. Fitness levels down so players can't have an extra piece of magic. Set pieces win games. This was only 5 years ago. Jamie O'Hara celebrating winning games from set pieces. Celebrating winning games from set pieces. Exposure season is in full flow. And again, what some of the low IQ amoebas will say, what a lot of Arteta outers will say is, stop defending Arsenal. This isn't about Arsenal. Yes, they're in the subject matter. They're involved because they're being criticised. But it's about stopping the erosion of our game, especially what's important to us as fans. Because it's the bit it's one of the main bits for us. The conversation, the debates. It's always been a huge part of football. In fact, it's what makes the football even better. A lot of sports don't have that. A lot of sport, maybe a big fight here, a big fight there, a big match there, like a tennis match. But generally, most sports, people watch the event, they talk about it for a few days after, and it goes away. With football, that constant debate is what makes this the biggest and the best sport in the world. And we're killing it with this terrible analysis. We really, really are. And you see this all the time. There's a tweet here that says that Slot, this is only from April 2024. So it isn't that long ago. And it states that Slot needs to invest in set piece nerds and vital players. I'm serious. Set pieces, when your general play isn't at its best, is life-changing. Find margins that save you in games like this. Look at the 121,000 people, load of interactions, a lot of people liking this. Yet you fast forward and suddenly it's saying, I don't even think it's outrageous to say the Premier League is the worst season I've seen. We're seeing more set-piece goals than open play goals, less counter-attacks, less individual goals. It's quite literally a league managed by 20 set-piece coaches. Now, he's exaggerating here. But the reason he's exaggerating is because his team hasn't been good at scoring from them or defending from them. So he's just trying to make himself feel better. And I don't know if it's true if more goals have been scored from open play or not. But let's not lie that we haven't seen brilliant individual goals. Bruno Guimaraes the other day with a screamer. Haaland scoring loads of great individual goals and team goals this season. This weekend alone, Mbeumo with 2, Cunha with 1. That's just off the top of my head. Brilliant individual goals. And you can sure probably name lots and lots and lots more. In fact, it's just absolutely ridiculous the levels that people are going to. We saw a journalist, and we featured this last week, who did a whole article on how Arsenal Football Club are killing the game, how Arsenal Football Club are ruining the Premier League, how set pieces are ruining the Premier League, but helping Arsenal. And a lot of people jumped on this with, yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think you're correct. It's really, really bad, etc. But for me, I look at this and I think to myself that you read it independently. And you go, okay, maybe there's some good points being made here. But then you look into a few things. Ryan here, firstly, is a Liverpool fan. Secondly, a few years back, wrote this article. The secret to Liverpool's success in 2018, 2019, and why being good at set pieces can win you trophies. This is what we are dealing with now from the mainstream media. The mainstream media lying through their back teeth, misrepresenting the truth, and consistently, again and again and again, again and again and again, telling us one thing but meaning another. Telling us one thing, but meaning another. 1 year set pieces are good. The next year they're bad for the game. The duplicity is ridiculous. And we as football fans have to push back against it because it will kill our game. You can even see it in certain fan bases. Liverpool fans, this was a better part of a decade ago, talking about why having a set piece specialist is so important to football. Why having a set piece specialist is needed at Liverpool Football Club. This big Liverpool account laughing at Arsenal for scoring a set piece again, but only a few years back celebrating that they were the set piece kings. This article, ironically, coming after saying Liverpool need the adjacent season. Sorry, the same season, as you can see. The following season, that they need to be better at set pieces. More journalists literally moaning about how football is being played badly, yet celebrating not long ago breaking set piece records. We have got to make the discourse fair. The discourse has to be honest. The discourse has to be real. If you don't think Arsenal will score enough goals from open play to challenge or win the league title, state it. But this nonsense around set pieces is crazy. And I run the numbers whilst we were recording. I multitasked. This season in the Premier League, 246 goals have been scored. 129 of them, 52% are from open play. Set pieces, 65 set piece goals, 26%. So again, the lie is being pushed that more set play goals are being scored than open play goals is a myth. It's an absolute myth on every level. And so many of these individuals have been exposed. You know, even Liverpool themselves. And by the way, I don't think most Liverpool fans are doing this. It's a handful. And do you know why I know this? Liverpool Football Club themselves celebrated back in December 2019 how they scored 40 goals from set pieces in the Premier League since the start of last season. The Premier League resharing this. Being good at set pieces, both defensively and offensively, has always been celebrated until now. And I understand people want to shit on Arsenal. I understand people want to make Arsenal look bad. I get people are petrified of Arsenal right now. But what we cannot allow that to do is damage the discourse and conversations around our game. We cannot start reframing and moving the Overton window to a point where penalties, set pieces, throw-ins, corners, crossing, where suddenly all those things are diminished and seen as embarrassing. They are important, fundamental parts of football, and they should be celebrated and not trashed on. And the reason why I think we saw Jamie Carragher, and I spoke about him yesterday, kind of toning himself down a bit. And I'm going to end by saying this. I think he's toned himself down a little bit in the last few days because he realized all these things he said in the past were going to come out, and the exposure looks bad. And for professional pundits, I think this is horrendous. For the mainstream media, I think this is disgusting on every level. Please like, share, subscribe, and hype. If you know, it really is important to us as a channel that you do that. But until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you soon. Peace.